It's an interesting day to be in Rotary and to belong to a very interesting group like the Rotarians that we are going to see today. When you belong to Rotary, you serve above self. Today we have the Rotary Club of KIWATULE, who have served, built schools, built health centers, served and made sure that communities are satisfied. Let's go in and watch the Rotary Club of KIWATULE as it exchanges leadership.
It is now time for you to hand over and we get a new team to lead this club to the next level. You've served, you've hosted us, you've energized us, and we thank you. So if it is your wish, and I'm saying this, but keeping myself within, if it is your wish, please hand over that chain to me. Because I want Brenda to take the oath when you don't have the chain. Rest, she can take the oath and you remain with our chain. Good. Congratulations again. Now you know you can comfortably join them. Now, Brenda, before I hand over this, you need to take the oath of office. That oath is to comfort all of us that you are going to diligently execute your duties. So I now call upon you to take that oath before I install you as our president.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I, Brenda Daisy Anena, having been admitted as president of the Rotary Club of KIWATULE, Rotary International District 9213, for the Rotary year 2021-2022, do solemnly swear upon my honor to faithfully and willingly discharge the duties and responsibilities of the office, fully conscious of the important obligations which I have voluntarily committed to assume. I pledge to uphold and defend the Constitution and bylaws of the Rotary Club of KIWATULE and that of Rotary International, ever putting into practice Rotary's motto of service above self, and applying the four-way test as a basis of my actions and altercations to help advance the object of Rotary, giving emphasis to this year's theme from Rotary International, which is serve to change lives. All these I pledge and promise to do and observe to the best of my ability without any mental reservations or purpose of evasion. So help me God.
That is the usual custom. Brenda? Someone might be fired immediately. Brenda, upon taking that oath, I now install you as our 18th president of the Rotary Club. 19th president of the Rotary Club of the team right behind you here is there to support you. That's why I invited them here. We are all looking forward to your year of great leadership. Congratulations again.
I am very passionate about the president that has just been installed today. She's a lady. She's also a lady very passionate about cancer screening. She's also very passionate about the woman and the woman who gives birth to all our children. Now, I want to introduce to you President Brenda Anena Daisy, the incoming president and the 5th Lady President of KIWATULE. Like I said, This club was started 19 years ago. Brenda, I'm very, very, very honored to be serving on your board. But one of the most important things is, what is that percentage of women that you have in the club that you're engaging at this time? And probably my last question is, what are those last, things that you want us to think about as we think about your year?
Okay. So we are engaging because we are 46% female as a club, as it stands. But today I know that percentage rose slightly, probably to about 48% female, which is a good balance. 48% female, the other 52% male. So for the board, the incoming board, there are 7 ladies on the board, which is a good representation for the board. So I'm encouraging women to come out of their sleeping zone, because women move things. Women are doers. They are not sayers, they are doers. So to go out of their way and do more to make the club better, but also to get things done. As my parting shots, I know that these are turbulent times. I know that a lot is still going to change, but I also know that this is an opportunity for us to do our best. So I am encouraging each and every Rotarian, not just Rotarians in the Rotary Club of KIWATULE, but every Rotarian to put in their best so we can achieve a lot more. And I'm also encouraging everyone to find it in their hearts, that little thing that they can give. It doesn't have to be money, but also time and other resources that you can give and give to the world. Lastly, I hope that this is a year when we can look after ourselves, because we usually give other people and forget our own selves. So we need to give ourselves and make sure that we are healthy enough so we can be here 5 years from now. Yes.
Thank you very much, President Brenda, and it gives me a lot of pride to congratulate you. Congratulations on becoming president.
Thank you.
And we look forward to your year and what you promised to provide to Rotary.
Thank you.
So usually when we like the people we serve with in Rotary, we tend to have a lot of mileage. Today I want to introduce you to a gentleman who I've had the privilege to work with an entire year. He picked me to a position. Like I said, this is my club. And I've been talking about Rotary for quite some time. And he has showed me what it means to serve. Even when it is bad, even when you're bleeding, you can serve. I want to introduce to you the Opportunity President, President Dennis Wandera, who is expiring soon.
Thank you.
President Dennis, welcome to the Rotary Moments.
Thank you.
It gives me a great pleasure to have you today, and a few of the things I want to understand. You started a year that nobody knew we would survive. We started a year that was, nobody predicted what would happen. What has your year been like?
Say that again.
How has the year been? How did you manage to go from 1 month to the next with the entire world going under because of COVID?
I must appreciate that it was very challenging, but we had to adopt. We had to go mainly online for most of the activities. We had to now use telephone to encourage the board or the team. We had to do all manner of activities outside the normal tradition that we usually go through to have a task achieved. So we just had to adopt to the new dynamics that came up with the challenge of COVID, and we pulled it.
And you did indeed. I think one of the most memorable moments for me, I think, is when at the district conference they announced that the Rotary Club of KIWATULE has won an award. And I was like, how did we even manage to achieve that? Do you want to tell us about that?
Yes, of course we did a lot of planning. Personally, I know we would have got more awards if it wasn't for COVID.
Yeah.
So whereas I'm happy, but I'm not surprised, because we did a lot of planning and a lot of work. Whenever you see success, it just implies there was a lot of work, there was a lot of planning, there's a lot of consistency, persistency. And we pulled it. We had the capacity, we had a good team, good board, motivated, and we continue to motivate them, not financially, but talk.
I think one of the interesting things that I've been asked, because I'm a member of KIWATULE, is how did we manage to become an international partner to a club in India? And I think you pulled that off very well.
Yeah.
If you could just let us know, maybe other clubs would hear this and know what to do.
The dynamics are many. It's just like life generally. You choose. As a club and on my own behalf, I deliberately made sure service is our passion, in line with what Rotary is. Rotary is basically service, an international service organization. So the more you do service projects, the more this opportunity comes. So India had a challenge. They needed a partner international. In Uganda, we are now international partners for the Indian. So that chance came, we took it up, and we are doing the project. If it wasn't for COVID, some of our members should be in India overseeing that project. And we hope we shall do that soon.
Thank you very much, President Dennis, for giving me the time.
Much obliged.
And sharing with us your successes.
Thank you.
This year. And a very hard year it has been. But you come out shining.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for having our interview.
Thank you for the support as well.
I want to introduce to you a very special person to this club. Many people hear us call him Jaja and they wonder why. And we also have an acronym for him, for his names. His name is Robert Henry Chigundu, but we call him RHK. Actually, some people usually say Rotarian RHK. Welcome to the Rotary.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Carol.
It's interesting how for 19 years this club has served so many regions in Uganda. And you've been in this, you know, I usually say Rotary is a big bubble that keeps bouncing all over the place. I want to hear from you. Why Rotary? Why KIWATULE?
Well, for me as an individual, why Rotary? My background as an individual required that I should serve in Rotary. Because I come from, I don't know why they use the word humble beginnings. I come from very humble beginnings. So when I got the opportunity to get a bit of money and get some spare change, what you call some spare change, 1,000 shillings left, 5,000 shillings left over, I thought I could also share it with other people. I was first invited to Rotary as an organization when I was at Makerere University.
Okay. By
none other than the late George Mpanga.
Oh, okay.
At that time, of course, it was Rotaract. Now, the myth, the connotations, and the thinking we had about Rotary, especially us from poor backgrounds, this is a rich children's organization.
Yeah.
Me with my single mother, I don't qualify to be in Rotary. So he probably thought I should be, and invited me for a solid 2 years to join the Rotaract Club of Makerere University, and I refused. On every single occasion, I turned him down. However, as fate is, in 2001, we were both living in Naria, the estate. And around 2001, 2002, I think 2001 into 2002, he started talking to me about forming a Rotary club for that area. I had kind of changed my thinking about Rotary. I was no longer looking at it as a rich man's club, a rich people's club. I'd seen a few of the things they do, and I had told him that when you're ready, talk to me. So he told me that there had been 3 of them. One is Godfrey Semgoma, who was the 3rd president of this club, himself, and Hassan Saleh. Hassan Saleh is the managing director of DSTV at the moment. He told me, we have agreed, we are forming a Rotary Club of KIWATULE, and we have asked Honorable Jaberi Dandisai for a meeting place, and he allowed us to meet in the recreation center in KIWATULE. But mind you, George lived in Naria. I lived in Naria. Godfrey Semgoma lived in Nigeria. I am not sure where Hassan lived, but I doubt that was KIWATULE. But it must have been in those areas. So why the name KIWATULE? I can only think that it's based on where we were meeting, because that's where we got an offer of a free venue.
Yeah.
And probably the three of them decided we should meet there, because I joined them like on their third meeting.
Okay.
And as soon as I joined them, they took me through what Rotary means, the rituals. You know, I was still testing waters, so to speak. And I stayed in there, around. Within about 6 months, we had been joined by other people. We're over 20. But George, God bless him wherever he is, had this impetus, this energy not to give up. We were a very small club. We were just starting, mothered by Rotary Club of Kololo, as you know. But he pushed for what we call a medical outreach. Now, people who know KIWATULE very well, KIWATULE is made up of what some people call the Chizungu zone, and for lack of a better word, the less Chizungu zone. KIWATULE has a zone where, I don't want to use the word squatter, but informal kind of settlement, where houses are very close to each other. There's hardly any running water in pipes, and those people had issues. But George said that all we need to do now is speak to sponsors, KCCA, and all these private clinics and say, we need to conduct here a monthly medical camp. That's the first time I actually got involved in a Rotary project. What I saw, the beautiful smiles I saw on people's faces, people got to know of the status of their health through those medical outreach camps, because they would say, I had no money to go to the hospital to test for this. But thank you very much. When you brought this lab here, they tested me and they told me I have this problem. Thank you very much. The doctor has seen me, has referred me to Mulago Hospital. Because the doctors were coming from these big hospitals.
Yes.
And many of them actually went on and cured things and diseases that they didn't know that they had. For me, that was my turning point in Rotary. I realized that you don't need to have a lot of money to do something in people's lives. Because at that time, probably we were contributing about 5,000 shillings a person, per month, per project, per outreach. But we were doing a lot. We were changing a lot. People were being treated. And personally, that sealed my interest in Rotary. And from that time in 2000 to 19 years up to now, I've been a Rotarian, non-stop. I've never stopped, and I've been everywhere.
Thank you very much, Rotarian Robert.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I am very, very glad that you were able to share with us the past of Rotary Club of KIWATULE. And I think there's a lot more wisdom that would, and one day we shall still come and just pick your brains on some of the Rotary aspects. Today was about Rotary Club of KIWATULE. Another time we want to know how you manage to keep the club together. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm honored. Thank you very much for inviting me. And I also hope to be here again. Thank you.
I'd like to introduce to you somebody I hold very dear and somebody who is my sponsor into Rotary. He made sure that I become a Rotarian, having seen what I did in Rotaract. And I'm very, very proud to be interviewing you today, the past district governor, Xavier Sentamo. Thank you very much for honoring our invitation today.
Thank you too. Thank you for inviting me here.
One of the most interesting things that I think you brought out when you were district governor, your history has been, Rotaract is important. Rotaract can and will always thrive. Everyone can join Rotary. That's the second one. The third one is Rotarians can do business. I know I'm not saying them in the right acronyms and all, but those are the three concepts that I know that you promoted. Membership, Rotaract is important, and everyone should join Rotary. Why those three concepts?
Thank you so much, Carol, and nice to be back on this program. I'll start with Rotaract, because that's where my foundation into the Rotary movement began. I think around 1997, 98, with a colleague working in the Faculty of Commerce and then Makerere University Business School. And this particular colleague keeps encouraging me to go and visit with them in their Rotaract Club, Rotaract Club of Kololo. I go meet with them, and then I was fascinated with the effort they put in to organize community service projects. Then most of the community service projects were medical camps in Chanja, in Chiola, and so on. And I was sold. And therefore I participated in that. So that gave me the firm foundation in Rotaract. I joined Rotaract in 2000. Actually, end of 2000. And shortly after, I got to learn that a group of Rotaractors were forming themselves into a Rotary Club of KIWATULE. Then I quickly jumped ship. And so, because of that foundation, because of that firm beginning with Rotaract, Rotaract has always remained dear to my heart. I know the great things that Rotaract clubs can do. And I know, if nurtured well, if mentored well, what caliber of Rotarians we can get from those Rotaractors. So certainly, coming in as a governor, I sat with my Rotary Foundation Committee chair, a past district governor, but who happens also to be the first district governor who has been a Rotaractor, past district governor Bob. So I told him, you know what, I want to do something unique. There's never been a scenario where you can give some foundation funds to Rotaractors to do projects. So I said, this time around, I want, of course, when you are the governor, you are the only Rotary International officer in the district. So you make and break, you make your own laws. And therefore, I chose that, you know what, I told my friend, past district governor Bob, that I want for the first time to challenge Rotaractors to implement, to scale up their programs by providing a $20,000, $25,000 worth of projects. And I would give $2,000, $1,500 to a club.
We got one.
Yeah, and that makes a whole difference.
Yes.
And trust me, that injection created a whole difference. And you know what? That even Rotary International learned something from that. And they have now been able to open up that Rotaractors can be able to do global grants. Oh. So I'm proud of what we are able to plan through and be able to achieve. The other is that Rotary is a membership organization. And therefore, without members, you cannot do anything. It's members that drive everything. It's members that bring their ideas together. It's members that identify where the needs are. It's members that craft out solutions. Yeah. And so, in Uganda, we are around about 4,500. And we think for the population of Uganda, 4,500 Rotarians is way too little. There are so many Ugandans out there who we believe have the right, cherish the same values as we cherish in Rotary. Values of service, integrity, high integrity. People who can commit and do not look at people because of their race and so on. So there is diversity, leadership and so on. So my thinking is that if only we can tap into that, we can only make our Rotary organization stronger. But most importantly, a strong Rotary organization means better service to the people that we serve, to the communities. You just imagine how much the few we are, how much we have done. Yes. Setting up the blood bank, setting up the cancer center in Zambia. But these are the new projects. But even the Heart Institute, the foundation, the start of the Heart Institute, and even the training to see to it that by now we can be able to carry out open heart surgeries. It's because of Rotary. Mwana Mujimu. Look at the number of water projects that we've done across the country. so many, but yet we're just a few, with a handful of Rotaractors. So my thinking is that if we can only deal with the issue of numbers, if we can identify those Rotarians out there who have not been invited yet, and they join us, we can only make the impact much bigger. So for me, numbers is everything. Numbers help us to contribute more to the Rotary Foundation, which gives us resources to do the projects. Numbers help us to network better, because that's what we get from networks. You saw my pin, RMBM, Rotary means business. Rotary means business because even as Rotarians, we are business leaders, we are professional leaders. So we come in here and we want to promote each other's business. How will you promote it when you are few? We need to grow that number. We need to grow our networks. And so for me, I believe that numbers means everything. Then the other is that we found out that we lose so many Rotarians in the infancy of their joining Rotary because they fail to find the value proposition. And value proposition, all of us, yes, certainly service is going to be part and parcel of what we are going to do. But there's much more to Rotary than service only. There's going to be value for you. Carol, when you come in here, you come with your expertise and so on. Is it only utilizing your expertise to give, or there is something that you are going to gain from that? The number of friends. Rotary becomes family for us.
Yes, it does.
And for me, I do not see myself outside of Rotary. When I come to KIWATULE, I'm at home. When I was a governor, my friends, the past presidents of this club and the members, rallied around me and made my governorship so much comfortable. I lost my dad 1 month into governorship.
Yes.
And you know, Rotary took over everything. Where do you find that? It's about, you just imagine that everywhere you move, and I was so fortunate to have served as a governor last year, Rotary, because I move anywhere in this country where there's Rotary. I move anywhere in Tanzania, and you have a family. And I believe it, you have a family.
Yes.
They will open up their homes for me to stay in. And that is true even when I've moved out of the continent. So to me, it's about that. For me, it's about creating value so that people can know that they can thrive, can even promote their businesses while being in Rotary. And actually, that is the true foundation of where Rotary started. Paul Harris, when they met up on that 23rd day of February 1905, it had nothing to do with service. It was about getting to know what each other do, because they were all coming from different professions, and then to see how they can support each other in a cutthroat, competitive world that they were in then, so that they all survive in their businesses. So we need to ensure that businesses that as Rotarians will promote each other. If, like my friend, if you are into whatever business it is, I should be able to give you business when I have that. When I'm into tourism, when there is someone traveling, then they should be able to give me that business, and so on. Continuously, if we can be able to support each other, we grow each other, and then people can see value in being a Rotarian. So to me, those are very dear. If you are going to sustain, if you are going to keep people that you are bringing into Rotary, they must be provided with the right values.
What gave you the vision that you can actually open up a club in a rural city and another one in, in Mbale, and then we have Mbale, then we have Mbale City, then we just launched the one for Ginger, now we have Ginger City, we have Kasese, and what is interesting is that we have professionals in these clubs. We have professionals that are leading the Rotary movement, doing the right rituals, doing projects in their clubs, and still earning huge money from Rotary International, and also their contribution to TRF. What gave you this vision?
I think it came naturally, because I believe, and it's my conviction, that this country and the running of this country, we run on a decentralized system. And therefore, because of the decentralized systems, in every district, in every municipality, in every town councils, you have the right caliber of people to be part of Rotary. And I probably picked that from our late leader, past Rotary International President-elect Samuel Wadi, who, when he was the governor so many years ago, in 1987, he was working in Uganda Commercial Bank, and everywhere there was a Uganda Commercial Bank branch, he opened a Rotary Club, because he knew that's where it starts. To me, everywhere there is a district, an administrative district, a city, a municipality, it should be able to run a Rotary Club. And so I challenged my membership team, and I told them, go out there. Most of those places that look as remote are the places where service is needed most. And so taking and creating a Rotary Club closer to where the services are needed makes it even easier to address the needs there. If there's only one Rotary Club in Arua taking care of the West Nile region, it can only do so little. If we have in a city, Kampala has more than 70 clubs. If Kampala has more than 70 clubs, every city should be able to accommodate more than 15 clubs.
Indeed.
And the population is there, the people are there, everywhere. So it was my intention to go and move Rotary there. I wanted to make it possible that people can appreciate that they can enjoy Rotary in the language that they feel comfortable. Rotary shouldn't be for English only.
Yeah.
You should be able to speak Rugba, to speak Luganda, to speak Lunankole or Chiga, and still enjoy Rotary. Because that is true elsewhere. So I try to encourage my team to open up clubs wherever there was need. And I hope I try to address that. I think we still have a lot of room to develop that. And my zeal, and I'm going to support our incoming Governor John and the entire team, to see to it that we can reach every corner of our district. We need Rotary in Karamoja. We need Rotary in Kapichorwa. We need Rotary. I'm going to Elgon next weekend. We need Rotary in Burambuli and so on. We need Rotary at every corner of this country. That's how we can be able to attract service. We put Rotary where they can be able to quickly identify a need and address it. And I think it can only make it better. Can imagine how fun it would be that every district you move to, you have your Rotary networks.
So one of the most amazing things that I would like to ask today, if I was given the opportunity to ask Rotary International, is I would say an individual's name. If I was asked to say an individual's name and say what I want Rotary International to do for me, do you know what I would ask? I would ask Rotary International to please, us in Buganda, we kneel down when we are asking. I would kneel down and ask Rotary International to allow an individual called Xavier Sentamo to become district governor for a second round. And I wish we had Chisanja, for us to experience the wealth of knowledge and what you've just shared with us. Is there a possibility in there that this would be, would be possible? Nonetheless, my final question to you is, what is that message that you give to all the incoming presidents today? You belong to KIWATULE. President Brenda has just been installed, and we are in a very difficult year. We have to serve nonetheless. Our club won an award for serving very well.
Awards.
2 awards, yes, and being holding the mantle of service and utilizing the Rotary International funds very well. What is that message you give to all the other incoming presidents? What should they make sure they do to make sure they succeed, even with COVID and this whole social distancing and the SOPs being kept?
Thank you. First, I will start with your first request. I hope that RI will not buy that. I think one thing that I've found very unique and something that has kept growing this Rotary organization is the fact that we change leadership every year. I know we've had all arguments about continuity and 1 year is short enough, is too short for you to do so many things. But I think if you've planned enough, now that we select leaders 3 years in advance, if you planned well enough, that 1 year is enough for action so that you can be able to impact. But then also Rotary is not short of leaders. We are all leaders. And you want new talents every time. And for me, I've found it fascinating, and actually it has helped to grow Rotary much bigger because everyone brings on new talents. So I probably am going to move on to serve at different levels. Recently, you just sent me to the Council of Legislation to represent our district at the Rotary International Parliament for 3 years. So there are more opportunities to serve out there than governorship. But the good thing when you've served as a governor here, you continue supporting those who are in leadership then. So I will continue doing that. Now to my good friends, my President, Brenda. Let me start off by thanking our President Dennis, who has just handed over the reins of office to Brenda today. Dennis has taken us through a very turbulent year.
Yes.
Because they took leadership during COVID, they have gone through the whole year during the pandemic. So probably in terms of challenge, Dennis could have had more challenging year than Brenda is going to have. At least now we've taken our shots and so on. And he has done an incredible job. We've won those 2 awards, and it's no mean feat. But you know, when you win awards, then you've raised the bar, and we can never move the club lower.
Yes.
So to my good friend, our President, Brenda, my advice that I always give to all the presidents, one is that you must enjoy your year. You are going to be a president for only 1 year. We are 95 members. There are so many people waiting for that office. And I'm sure Marion is waiting for that chain after 1 year. So make sure you enjoy your year. Make sure you become an approachable president, a president who listens. Because when you listen, when people feel they are valued, then they can give their all.
Yes.
I've used this at club level, I've used this at district level. And clubs and people can do amazing things. So enjoy your year, value everyone's contribution. Very, very important. 2, stretch your targets. Stretch what you can do. Don't be boxed in. No one tells you that you cannot grow by 100%, even if you are 95. You would set a record. If, for example, from 95, you ended up having this club at 190 members, doubling it, you would have set a record. That record will be impossible to break. Or this year, we just became the highest contributing with 100,000, more than 100,000 US dollars. How about you breaking the 200 city? Why not? It's about partnership. It's about bringing on board. How about us having a portfolio of more than 10 global grants? It's all possible because we have the hands, we have the skills, we can do it. So stretch your targets, stretch your imaginations, go for the bold things. I'm so optimistic that with the Brenda that I know, the Brenda that I've seen climb mountains,
Yes.
Brenda has no horizon limitations. And so go for it. You summited Kilimanjaro on the New Year's. So why can't you take this club to levels that it has not been to? And the good thing is that you have all your members behind you. Utilize every talent that you have at your disposal, and you are going to have an amazing year. Me, I'm looking forward for this year, just like I look out for all the great years. And to my presidents out there, all the presidents from other clubs, enjoy your year, because you only have 1 year to shine and make it count. Thank you so
I
much.
wish I could have you for the whole, Rotary moment whenever I have interviews, because every time you speak, you come up with a wealth of knowledge. Thank you very much for giving us this interview. When we call upon you, please do allow me to indulge us and give us that wealth of knowledge that you have. Thank you very much. And thank you for the great leadership skills you're giving to this district. You're doing a great job to all the leaders that are coming in. Thank you very much, PDG. Everything you've had today, I have been involved in as a Rotarian, and I'm proud to be serving. But one of the most important things I want to take away today is that the president that has just been installed is a woman, and 70% of the people on her board are ladies. We are going to serve to make sure she succeeds in her year. She's a limitless president, and she will serve to make sure that KIWATULE, the Rotary Club of KIWATULE, succeeds even with the pandemic. Like you just heard the past district governor say, Rotary is a service. We only serve 1 year, and you make sure you enjoy your year. As presidents that are being installed, enjoy your years, like past district governor Xavier said, and make sure you bring in as many Rotarians as you can. This is the Rotary Moment Show. We are on Facebook at Rotary Moment. We are on YouTube at Rotary Moment. Tune in anytime, wherever you are, whenever you can. Thank you.